Welcome back to Drinks and Chill. My name is Gio. This is Matt, and today we are going to be trying
stuff we've tried before.
stuff we tried before.
So it's almost the end of the year, right?
Yep.
So what we're going to do is actually retry the first 3 whiskeys that we reviewed this year. And the reason we're doing that is because the first 2 whiskeys that we tried, we used a different rating system. For the first couple of weeks, we had a rating system and we realized pretty soon that it wasn't working out. So that's when we changed to the rating system we're currently using. So we're going to retry those 2 and rate them using our current rating system. And then the 3rd whiskey that we tried this year was Elijah Craig Small Batch. And I actually reviewed that one myself because this guy was sick. So we're going to try that one again and he's going to give it his rating.
Yep.
So we're just kind of playing catch up here.
Yeah, that's that kind of day.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, it's the end of the year. We need to do this already.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to try, Jack Daniel's Bottled and Bond. And if you want to see like our in-depth, well, I guess we can go in-depth here because I feel like we've gotten better with the tasting notes over the year. So
it might change from our previous video.
It might. Cheers.
So you get a lot of oak, vanilla,
Yeah.
which you get from any bourbon whiskey, but Jack Daniel's especially.
Yeah. I honestly feel like this smells better than I remember because we've had it a couple times on the channel since then when we compared it to the triple mash and the bonded.
Besides that, I'm not getting too much.
No, and I feel
I
like
mean, that's very prominent and it smells good.
I feel like that's just kind of what you get with Jack Daniel's until you start getting into like their fancier stuff, which this isn't really.
For being Bottled and Bond, you don't really get that sharpness in the smell, which is nice.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 4.7 on the smell.
I get 4.9. That's a pretty high score in terms of like just having a basic smell. But that basic smell is very...
Yeah.
Or not basic, like standard smell.
All right, shall we try?
Yep.
I can tell this is the first whiskey I've had today.
A little bit sharper.
Yeah, the sharpness that wasn't on the nose is definitely there on the palate. That looks pretty prominent on the taste.
You get the vanilla, maybe some caramel and tasting in there.
Yeah, it's got something sweet going on.
Is it caramel or is it like honey? Because I know Jack Daniel's very...
It might be more honey. It's not the Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey, but I mean, it might be honey. That's that sweetness. So while the taste is still very kind of standard basic, I do feel like I liked the smell better.
It's not bad to sip on though.
No, it's not. I'll give it a 4.5 on the taste. It's not a bad taste, there's just not much going on. And I can't give it a higher rating than I gave the smell because I do like the smell better.
Yeah, I give 4.7.
Finish? The finish is actually pretty nice. The oak is there obviously, but it's got a little creamy thing going on. It almost has like a cream, not just texture, but flavor. Like a buttercream frosting type thing. I feel like the finish might be my favorite part of this, actually.
The taste lingers a bit, so that's a good thing.
I'm going to give the finish a 2.5.
2.5? Okay.
The finish is my favorite part of this, I think. And I feel like if I went back to this, it would be for that finish.
I have 2.3.
Okay. So as far as the look of this bottle goes, I mean, it's got that classic Jack Daniel's look to it. Right here where it typically says Old Number 7, it says bottled at 100 proof. And then it's got this gold Bottled and Bond kind of banner across the bottom of it. I really like the color scheme of this label. The black and white with the gold accents is kind of nice. On the look, I'm going to give this bottle a 2.4.
I give 2.5 on the look.
Okay.
I like the look.
All right, so our total score for Jack Daniel's Bottled and Bond will appear right here so that you know where this ranks for us. Shall we move to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're going to be revisiting the Maker's Mark FAE 02.
Oh, the 02.
The 02.
I remember this one. Our expectations were higher than the FAE 01, and we weren't that thrilled on it.
Because we both really liked the FAE 01, and I think we expected something similar, if not better, with this one. And I mean, this one wasn't bad, if I remember correctly, but I
think our expectations were just really high on it.
Yeah, I think we went in with high expectations, and it just didn't quite meet the FAE 01 standards for us. But let's see, maybe our minds will have changed. Cheers. See, that's interesting because we just came off that Jack Daniel's Bottled and Bond, And I feel like the smell of this one is a lot more delicate than that one. Even though this is like 10, almost 10 proof points higher.
Well, I'm getting more the initial alcohol.
Yeah, it's not quite as like rounded, it's more sharp. I'm getting the cherry on the smell.
Like right away. I'm getting the cherry, that woodsy smell, which is good.
I feel like I'm getting like leaves. You know how when like you rake leaves, that smell that comes from them? I feel like I'm sort of
dried leaves.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of getting that too, which is kind of fitting for the time of year. But this was released last fall.
Yeah, so that's probably...
I mean, I'm not saying that there's leaves in it, but it's kind of like, it has...
That autumn... Oh, that's basically waited a whole year.
Yeah, basically.
I guess like a caramel?
Yeah, I think this one is a caramel. I give this one a 5.1 on the smell.
5.1? Mm-hmm. I give it 5.2.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
There's good things going on with it. What probably made me decide that's now a little bit higher is that sharpness. I have to basically get past it in order to smell.
Okay, first sip. That sharpness is there, but it's not there as much as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I smell a lot more than tasting it.
Yeah.
That taste has a very nice, rich taste to it. It's very creamy.
Yeah, there's things happening there. Kind of spicy almost. Like there's like, not like hot spicy, but there's like spices in there, like
it's like tingling. It's like tingles on,
like ginger almost.
Maybe.
That's just
feels like I'm eating Pop Rocks.
Yeah, it's oaky, but it's a different kind of oak than what we got from the Jack Daniels. Like you said, it's almost more woodsy than just like an oak.
Yeah.
Like than oak barrel or sawdust. It's like what I imagine a tree would taste like. I have to imagine, because I've never eaten a tree, despite what you might think. I don't know why they would think that, but I've never eaten a tree. Have you ever eaten a tree?
I don't think so.
Not a whole tree, but like taking a bite out of one. I don't know how we got, or how I got to this. I say we, but it's...
Maybe I've eaten twigs when I was younger. Just
maybe.
Naturally.
My dog does.
So you're like comparing me with your dog. That's fine. Oh yeah, my dog did that. Thank you.
I feel like this might be one of the few whiskeys that I actually like the taste more than the smell. I'm going to give it a 5.4 on the taste.
I'm going to give it 5.5.
Okay.
I do like it. I like the smell and the taste on it. I'm glad we revisit this one.
We kind of hit on this already, but a little creamy. I think the Jack Daniels is a little bit more creamy than this one.
I think so too. I think Jack Daniels was a little bit...
You get that woodsy taste that kind of lingers.
The sharpness is not really there on the back of the tongue, which is... Like I'm getting it like on the front palate, but not the back.
Yeah, this one hits you in the front more so than the back, which I feel like I kind of prefer.
Yeah.
Because then that way you're not really left with it, you're just sort of left with the taste.
Yeah.
I feel like I still like that finish better. I'll give this a 2.3 on the finish.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 2.32.
Would you like 2 drops?
Yeah, I'll take 2.
Alright, so we've added 2 drops of water. This isn't going to impact our rating, obviously, but just kind of seeing how it is with the water.
Just because how much you put in.
Yeah, I did add a lot. Okay.
Just to equate the same.
Yeah. That smells pretty.
The sharpness died down. I'm getting more cherry and floral now. I'm getting more of that caramel kind of turned into a butterscotch. I'm kind of smelling the creaminess now, which is different.
I'm almost getting like a grassy smell now too. Like, you know, that smell after the grass has just been mowed. Yeah, that's really nice.
That woodiness kind of died down a little bit.
It like evolved from like woodsy trees, leaves to grassy. Because I don't feel like I was getting grassy the first time around.
Super creamy.
The water definitely made it creamier.
Like, it's not creamy as in the taste, but creamy as in like viscosity. All the flavors are still there that I tasted before.
Yeah. The vanilla comes through a little bit more now, I feel like.
It's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. The cherry is still there, but it's not, I don't feel like it's the prominent note for me anymore.
It's like a little bit more rounded.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it with the water. This is a good fall drink, which is probably why they released it in the fall. And now here it is fall again. I mean, it's the winter by the time you're watching this video, but at the time we're recording this, it's still fall.
So I was trying to find the FA last year. I was trying to find an FA02 for like the longest time, so I can give it as a gift. But this guy found it before I could.
Oh yeah,
because he has connections.
I don't have connections. I just go to the liquor store a lot. So the last one we try in this video, it's the Elijah Craig small batch. I think you've had this one.
I think so too.
But I don't think
I have it on the video, but I think I had it.
I think you and I have drank this one before. Yeah. I've already rated it with the new rating system. You have not. So go ahead and give it your rating. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a rating as well, just to kind of see how my rating compares to my original one. So
a little backstory on this. So I was a whiskey drinker, but just basically a whiskey drinker. I didn't really look into like tasting notes or anything like that. I didn't sip on it. I just basically drank how I drank.
Yeah.
Like the standard drinks and stuff like that. Jack Daniels, different types of rum. And then I met this guy and he's like, oh, there's like a whole world of bourbon out there, not just this one. So I started drinking more and more with this guy. And then we made the video. And I was like, oh my gosh, drinking this way is so much better. So it led me into a whole new world.
Well, I think it's just because like you're able to like really pick up on the differences between the various whiskeys. Because there's a lot of people that are just like whiskey is whiskey is whiskey is whiskey. Yeah. Like, you know, this is bourbon. Okay, bourbons are the same.
All I know is that Scotch and bourbon were two different things.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, but then you get into like all the different types of bourbon and all the different types of Scotch, and I don't know, it gives you a little bit of an appreciation for it.
I didn't even know about Glencairns until this guy. I was like, what are Glencairns? They're like small little glasses.
All right, let's give this a shot.
Yep.
Cheers. A little bit more subtle than the other two, which I feel like is to be expected just for its proof.
And I think it's because we kind of experiencing higher.
Did we like blow our palates? Okay, I feel like I am getting vanilla as the dominant note on this one.
I am too. Okay, I'm getting a particular smell in the background, and it's a very familiar smell, but I can't.
I feel like that happens all the time. You're just like, oh my god, I know this smell, but I can't like name it.
It's like not like your average smell of smelling through it.
Is it like a licorice? Is that what that is?
Maybe.
So I don't know if you remember, like in elementary school, those markers, the coloring markers that were scented.
I think maybe that's what's it. But
I remember the black marker was licorice scented, and I feel like that's what I'm getting here is like the Crayola black licorice scented marker.
I'm getting some licorice. I don't know if it's black licorice or just regular licorice. Is there regular licorice?
I don't know.
I only know black licorice.
I've only ever heard of black licorice. But the fact that they like specify black licorice makes me think that there's like other licorice.
Like other colors of licorice?
I don't know.
Is Twizzlers a licorice? Or Twizzlers is Twizzlers?
No, I think it is supposed to be licorice flavored. Twizzlers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's red.
But it's red.
That's red licorice then.
But right? Is it red licorice or is it just like red colored candy that tastes like black licorice? I don't know. If you know,
leave it down in the comments below. So, cherry's there. I like that. Very soft smell. So you're right about that in the beginning. Very soft.
I remember the first time I had this whiskey, I thought that, oh, this is a little bit on the stronger side. Because this was one of the first bourbons that I had that wasn't just like the standard 80 proof.
Yeah, basically 40%, that's it.
Yeah. But I've heard a lot of people refer to it as like a gateway bourbon, like a way to introduce people to bourbon. And maybe if there's someone who's used to drinking like rum, tequila, and other hard liquors, this might be a good way to introduce them. But if there's someone who doesn't drink hard liquor, I don't know if I would start them with this.
I would try Maker's Mark. I think that would be like my gateway. Because Maker's Mark, you get a lot of that cherry, woodsy taste. And I think that's something that would be like a good gateway to like if you would like this or not. This one is just, it's a little softer. You get a little bit sweet, but it's, you don't get in that woodsy, that oak smell that you would get with it.
Yeah. All right. On the smell, I'm gonna give this one a 4.85.
Okay, going to the hundreds there. Right?
Yeah, because I was going back and forth like 4.8, 4.9, 4.8, 4.9. I know 4.85.
I'll just go 4.9.
Okay, let's try this.
All right.
You know what? I feel like that's better than I remember it being.
Really? Mm-hmm. So it's very light.
Yeah. Now I can kind of see where they're coming from, where like a gateway beer, because I feel like it went down very easily.
Yeah, it did. It's, I don't know if this is like a description. Fluffy? Like...
Yeah, fluffy. I can see it being fluffy.
Maybe airy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah, it's light.
Yeah,
but the flavor is still there, and it's a good flavor. Like it's not light like the like there's some.
It's not like it's watered down.
No,
it's just.
Like those really airy like cake frostings that you get, where it's not like the super sweet frosting. It's more on the lighter side, but that taste is still there, but it doesn't feel diluted. Kind of like a mousse.
Yeah, like a mousse. There we go.
Yeah, like a mousse.
Moussey.
Yeah. I do like the taste better than I like the smell. I'll just go ahead and say that.
I'm going to throw a 5.5 out there.
I was going to say 5.2. I'm going to pour a little bit more for the finish.
And we didn't have to add drops. I think that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like the flavor is just there.
Unlike the Maker's Mark FAO2, I feel like the sharpness does hit you in the back of the throat. Whereas on that one, it hit me like on the tip of the tongue. So I don't know if I like the finish on this one as much as I did on that one.
So I'm going to agree with you on that one. Definitely. The finish is way too light. So it doesn't stay. It's there for
a couple seconds.
Yeah. Not long enough to be able to even determine what's in the finish.
Yeah, it's the oak, but it's really difficult to find anything past the oak on the finish. So I guess that's kind of where this being sort of a gateway entry budget bourbon comes in.
Yeah.
Finish is a 1.7.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of the finish. I'm gonna go 1.5.
Because this thing exceeded my expectations on the smell and the taste. And then the finish was just kind of like, oh. But if we weren't rating the finish, I don't know if I would pay attention to it, and then I would have spared myself that disappointment.
Yeah.
For appearance, I've always loved the way these Elijah Craig bottles look. Again, the word basic, but I feel like they make basic work in like the best way possible. They're not going over the top, but it's just real classic looking. I love the shape of the bottle, the font that they use. I love this big cork and the little Elijah Craig signature on the top. That bottle is going to be like a 2.55.
2.55? All right. So I'm going to disagree with you a little bit there. I like the cork. The cork is what I like about it.
Yeah. Let me do this for you.
Go for it. I don't know what you're doing.
Because that bottle is almost empty. And I have another bottle here that's basically full.
I feel like the full bottle just looks so much different than the empty
like a half empty, yeah. So I'm going to go with this. I like the cork. I like the insignia on it, the signature on it. And I like this label here. The label looks like a postage stamp. It has that vintage feel. Everything else is just okay. So because of that, I am going to give it a 2.
Okay. Our total scores for Elijah Craig small batch will be right here. So this is obviously the first time you've rated it, but I'm curious to see how this rating compares with my previous rating, because I feel like I rated it higher this time. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. We were just kind of re-rating these two whiskeys and this one so we can compare them to our others. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we post, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.